Hello everyone and welcome to Scrap to Piece. My name is Lydia, also known as Illustrata, and now we are into part 2 of making the Big Sister doll. Not going to make this intro very long because it's part 2, so you guys already know what we're doing, already know what we're making, and where we're at with this project. So, let's get into it. So for the start of the oxygen tank, I started by gluing 3 small containers from the craft store together. Positioning all 3 containers was a little bit tricky, but I did end up managing in the end. The oxygen tank is 3-tiered, and I added a lid for a little extra height. After securing the pieces, I covered the seams with a layer of foam to act as the ridging, and then I created the attachment for the little sister cage using some scrap pieces of wood and foam. The crank piece was some part of some scrap toy that I had trimmed down. In the concept art, you can very faintly see leather straps on the oxygen tank, which I assume are to attach to the Big Sister, so now we're keeping with the theme of using ribbons. Onto the Big Sister cage, we start with the base that I cannot confirm is part of the cannon design, but it allows for the little sister to stand up at the cage. The bars, I guess you say, of the cage are made from ribbons with strips of foam hot glued to them for strength. It's a little tricky trying to place all the strips evenly, especially because I realized too late that the cage attachment on the tank was placed too low, but I continued moving forward. Then started the structure process. The process of figuring out placement was too frustrating, so I ended up doing that off camera. But it looks great in the end. Kinda makes you think of either a hoop skirt or tugboat? Anyway. Next we were on to the helmet. This was almost entirely placing small strips of foam onto the correct places while referencing the concept art off camera. I wanted this build to be as accurate as possible, so I ended up replacing 2 of the ports on the right side of her head to the correct spots that they needed to be in. I didn't know where to purchase mini buckles, so puffy paint is the next best thing. Everything is prepped and ready to go. Then we have the oxygen tank with the little sister cage attached. And of course the big sister. And then once it's done, we have little bows to add to it. Not gonna lie, at some point during the painting process, I started to feel that I don't like this and I don't know how this is going to turn out phase. But luckily, it didn't last too long. If any of you guys have played Bioshock or any of the games, what is your favorite part or favorite character? I think my favorite is obvious. I also added a bit of a gray layer to make metallics look a bit more weathered and battered. One thing I thought I had when I started this project was silver paint. What did I not have? Lucky guess. So I adapted and used a concrete colored black layer with a light gray on top of it. And now, even though there's no silver to be seen, it still looks like metal. One note on the cage is that it ends up looking like metal bars made from copper, while the straps around the cage look like leather, which is crazy because that's just plain ribbons. Definitely gonna save that tip in my back pocket. One of the finer details of this build is the little fish drawings that are on the back of the oxygen tank that a little sister has drawn while spending time with their big sister in the cage. I just realized after I finished drawing these little fish, I still have to put them on the back of the helmet. Dagnabbit. Okay, so with how I did the back of the helmet, there isn't like really great placement for where I can paint the fish, because technically this little section isn't supposed to be there. It's just to cover up the seam of the back of the helmet, so I think I'll probably paint them like right in this section, and maybe here, and maybe here. So let's do that. Although it might be cute just having one little tiny little fish like just right here. Also, I originally had recorded my process of painting the little sister, but I was not 100% happy with her. I might do a video down the road showing my process, but since this was such a big project with so much footage, more footage than I thought I would, I decided to remove the clips, but you'll see her again at the end of the video. So I'm currently looking at the doll. I'm pretty much completely done with her, but she ended up a lot more dull colored than I initially planned. Yes, it's supposed to be like post-apocalyptic, like dark color and everything, but I think I'm gonna go and possibly like dry brush with some copper paint to kind of just give it a little bit more life. truth, time to glue the cage to the back of the back. So we're going to be gluing this onto her back at an angle. Full disclosure, this took a few tries to get it positioned right. She is done. She is beautiful. She is beauty. She is grace. And she will stab you in the face. Also put in detail. I did realize I forgot to glue this last little triangle piece. I don't know what it is. It's just part of the design. So there it is. Last part of the build was making her stand. I got the stand at a thrift store some time ago. I then cut out a circular piece of corkboard and broke it in various places. This technique is something I saw Nerdforge use to create a concrete effect. I tried my best to make it feel like it's right out of Rapture. Did I have achieved that? Maybe. I think it looks cool in the end. After trimming it down and gluing it to my liking, and adding some extra pieces, I added other broken pieces, such as window frames from that mini dollhouse I mentioned last episode, a toy gun that I trimmed down, a pen tip to look like the barrel of the gun, some wires from a charger, and some mini glass window panes. I used a dark base coat and then went in with a gray and white, and it's not Rapture without some copper, so I threw some of that in. Initially, I glued all the glass panes down, but I decided to wait until after the paint job was finished to attach them. So I decided I'm gonna add one teensy tiny. I'm gonna add one teensy little detail. People get weirded out. Technically, it's Adam. I actually realized I can paint a hot glue to look like spills of Adam. Now she's done. So, I have these little tacks in the shoes that go up into the foot to hold her in, but she's very top heavy with the cage on her back, so I do have a chopstick that I painted, so hopefully it goes more unnoticed. So let's test this out. Let's try this again. In. And then let's try this out. Sticking it up behind her back. That is behind one of her feet, so more angles from the front. You can't really see it. And it's actually maybe mostly. So with how I have it braced behind her foot from the front, you can't really see it, which is kind of the goal. That's kind of the point. I might put one maybe behind her other leg, maybe angle it a different way so it can still be relatively unseen, but I'm going to glue it to the back of her so it can prop her up a little bit extra so they're a little bit more weight balance. But for the most part, you can't see it unless you're looking from certain angles. So I think that's a win in my book. So a few test turns. Okay, now she is heavily leaning back. Maybe I could take some like fishing line, pull her back maybe, but oh my gosh, she looks so cool. Okay, now here's another test, is putting the little sister in her backpack without toppling her over entirely. Okay, test run, little sister. Is adding more weight to the back. So that's the dangerous part. She's mostly standing, still leaning a bit more. I think I realized one of the major errors that I did was I put the more narrow end on the bottom, whereas I put the not so pointy end at the top. So I think I'm just gonna have to flip that over. That might help a little bit. Come on. There we go. Okay. Let's try this again. Wow, that actually improved, like, tremendously. Like, wow, I'm impressed. guys. She's standing so much more straight with just that simple change. Like, she's almost like standing fully straight up like that. Oh, that's perfect. Didn't realize how much of a difference that was going to make until I did it. So, okay, now let's do another twist, test. Well, still upright, but yeah, little sister test. Oh my gosh. She's still fully upright, even with that small counterbalance change. Like, oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. She's staying upright. She is. Okay. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's try another twist test to see if she'll still stay upright. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Okay, I think there's a little bit of leaning. But still. She's done. She's completely done. This is crazy. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Wow, that. Oh my gosh, this is so wonderful. She looks so good, like almost exactly out of the game. Well, pretty much, yeah. She looks so good, and then the little sister fits in the backpack and fits in the cage like perfectly. Y'all, we did it. I did it. And I'm proud of myself. That's one thing we're working on with this channel, is me being willing to say that I'm proud of myself. So we're done. We're done. And that is a wrap on the Big Sister doll. I'm currently sitting at the point where I still have to assemble everything, but I was so happy with how this project turned out. It turned out leagues better than I ever expected. The colors turned out fantastic. The composition just blended together so well, even though I didn't have silver paint, which is something that I needed, but I rolled with what I had. So I'm so happy this project is done. I think I have like grand total of like 6 hours of footage, I think, across like both videos. Luckily this one only is about maybe 2 hours of footage that I have to edit. So this is not accurate. I thought I was only going to end up with about 2 hours worth of footage for this. I ended up filming 4.5 hours of footage for this part. Lydia in this clip has no idea what's ahead of her. Wonderful project, had a lot of fun with it. Lots of learning curves and trying to get my creative brain back in movement again. This has been a kind of rough past few weeks mental health wise, so this has been a really great project to escape into. So yeah, might be doing a little mini video next, but we shall see, because this hair is gonna be no more in 2 days. So yeah, thank you for coming along with me on this journey. Thank you guys for your support. If you like my content, if you want to follow along on my creative adventures, hit the like button, subscribe, do all those lovely things if you want to. I'm not gonna force you to. I hope you all have an artsy lovely day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!